Oh, hi, I'm ZZ Slop of Fog City Rollers, and you're watching Canuck Derby TV.
It's not true.
It's not just about the shorts. It's about inspiring others. It's about having fun and making new friends. It's about getting hit down and getting back up again. It's about being a team. Pivot Star. It's about roller derby.
Teams, 2 days, 28 games, and there's 2 teams remaining. Welcome everyone back to the 2013 Beast of the East, 6th annual Beast of the East tournament here, hosted by Montreal Roller Derby. I am the Derby Nerd, joined by Tipsy McStaggers on the mic.
Glad to be here, ladies and gentlemen.
If you've been watching all weekend, you know that these teams have fought tooth and nail on their way to this point in the tournament.
Yeah, neither team getting necessarily an easy route to the finals, each one having to be challenged along their way. In their semifinal game, it was a touch-and-go battle against the Death Track Dolls. A very, very, very stern test for the Slaughter Daughters. They were favored to make it to the finals here, but still, they had to fight their way through.
Yeah, it was a 68-40 victory for the Slaughter Daughters to get to this point. But that 28 points was a hard-fought win, and it seemed much closer off the track.
The 68 points also being the fewest amount scored by the Slaughter Daughters during this tournament.
Oh, that's right, yes.
So defensively, the Death Track Dolls were a very strong challenge for the Slaughter Daughters.
And even closer was La Racaille's 85-60 victory over the FDR, because that game entered the final jam at a deadlock, a tie, 60-60, and was only a final jam power jam that allowed La Racaille to pull ahead.
One of the many candidates for game of the tournament.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, right up into that final jam. As you just saw, the Death Track Dolls cruise to a 136-29 victory in the third place bout. These 2 teams now facing off in the final have spent more time in this position than any other team in history of this tournament. 4 finals now for La Racaille.
Yep.
3 straight finals for the Slaughter Daughters. Still ranked on rollergirl.ca as the #1 house league team in Canada.
And that's a position that they've earned over multiple years, and slowly cultivating the talent system within the Rideau Valley League. They've benefited from a few key transfers, but also doing an excellent job with their fresh meat program. A lot of the new girls that come here get to learn from some very talented and very experienced veterans, and if you have some experienced people teaching your fresh meat program, it can benefit the league in spades.
Yes, it can, and La Racaille, historically one of the strong house league teams, not only here in Montreal, but in Canadian history. They've had to rebuild quite significantly from the great New Skids on the Block poll of 2011, which saw them have to completely rebuild their roster from the ground up, but obviously they have done that. They won the preseason round-robin tournament here in Montreal. They'll be kicking off their regular season shortly, So La Racaille has come a long way in the last few years, and ready here for the final. It's going to be a full intro. And again, just to remind you, if you've been watching the Beast of the East, not only this weekend, but throughout the years, this final's a little bit different. We're going to have two 20-minute halves.
That's for the duration of the tournament before. Each team has been playing in 20-minute mini games. Now, what's going to seem like an eternity when you've been rolling through a 20 minutes of intense roller derby, you now have two halves to deal with. So you have to change your mindset within the game and be prepared to carry the strategy through two halves and understand that the ebb and flow of the game is going to change significantly. Lots of times in this tournament, teams come out guns a-blazing on the first jam, trying to establish a strong lead that will then carry them through for the full 20 minutes, but you can't do that in this, what will appear to feel like at least more like a typical standard regulation bout.
Yes, true, yeah, and they are, even though it's slightly shorter, they're going to have to treat it as if it is just a regular bout. Plastic Patrick, the historic announcer here in Montreal will be on the center of the track, about to announce the teams as they enter for this final. Finally, we've got some beer mids going on the sidelines as well.
Yeah, well, they've been quite modest through the duration of the tournament, but the one down on what would be torn in the midway between corners 1 and 2 stands just over 6 feet tall.
That is a very tall beer. It doesn't have a lot of depth, but it's extraordinarily tall. These are the important things, making sure we get the beer mids down. Now, Tipsy McSaggers, the last time we called the championship game together here at the Beast of the East, it turned into, I think, historically one of the most memorable moments in Beast of the East history when the Slaughter Daughters pulled off a last gasp of victory over the Gorgor Roller Girls.
An over 15-point come from behind, last jam, last second, last point scored, and almost the exact last second jam. And it was kind of like the coming out party for the Slaughter Daughters. They placed well in previous Beast of the East tournaments, but no one had them pegged to make it to the finals that year, and they really came in and shocked the world in a way. So, and ever since then, they've been a growing power in the Canadian roller derby world.
Yeah, they've been cruising since that point. Coming through as the top-ranked team, again, as I mentioned, House League team in history, and we're seeing the teams now come onto the track.
The arena is very, very loud. Coming out skating, making her way out is the Big Block. Following out after her is Annihilator, wearing number 49. Team Canada alumni, Soul Wrecker, wearing number 55. In her third Beast of the East, Amanda Pummeler, wearing 672. In her first season back since giving birth to a lovely child, Screaming Mimi Massacre. Recent addition to Rideau Valley is Eastern Blocker. Co-captain Sister Disaster makes her way onto the track. DDT joining her teammates. And that will be the lineup for the Slaughter Daughters. Now, of course, we missed right at the minute one of the team captains out there, Margaret Choke, as well as another team leader, Hannah Murphy. That's a very, very strong, potent offense and defense out there for the Slaughter Daughters.
Yeah, tight, deep lineup for the Slaughter Daughters. La Racaille also have a mix of depth. Some skaters returning as well. Some new skaters. La Racaille representing the home team fans here in packed Arena St. Louis.
Yeah, expect it to get really loud in here right when this team comes out right now.
And here comes La Racaille, all coming out onto the track together. And you can hear it in here. I hope you can hear it at home. It is loud for these two teams.
Definitely La Racaille got some looseness in their strut right now. They're not feeling the pressure at all. They're looking forward to playing in this championship game at home.
Yeah, very happy to be here. La Racaille, of course, they made 3 straight finals in the first 3 years of this tournament, but they have not been back since. First skater, that is Nameless Horror. Sparkle and Mame out there skating. This is, I believe, her 5th season with La Racaille. veteran for the team. K-Dog, speaking of veterans, missed a lot of last season, but she is back and effective. No picks, please. Another important skater for this La Racaille team. Coming out there now, number 6'12", Banana Havoc. Falcon Punch, number 60. Boy, she had a great semifinal bout for La Racaille. And coming out there now is number 777, Irish Sprint. And number 808, number 908, sorry, Jim Shady. Number 90, that's Claire O'Key. And that is Leg City. Boy, what a breakout tournament she has had this year. This is her second year with La Racaille. Number 26, Elizabeth, another rookie for the Racaille. Number 898, Code V. And that is number F8, Chris D. Crowbar, also having a strong tournament. Two skaters left to announce. Number 420 coming up first, Mel Ioana. And speaking of history, number 187, former Rideau Valley skater, Slavic Slayer, the last skater to be announced for La Racaille. Boy, this must be an important game for her.
Yeah.
That is your 2013 La Racaille Beasts of the East finalists.
And La Racaille taking their last wrap around the track, greeting their hometown fans, getting psyched for this will be our final game of the day.
Beast of the East is on the line. Both of these teams are going to go home with a beautifully ugly trophy, but only the winner gets the ugliest trophy of them all.
Some would say the ugliest trophy in competitive sports.
I'm sure it's got to be. There is no uglier trophy than the Beast of the East.
Although, you know, I defy that this year. I think the work that Tommy Toxic has done this year is actually, while it is still a horrible beast-like creation, I think it qualifies as art this year. It is very beautiful.
Oh, I would argue that they always qualify as art.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work to make something so ugly.
And have so many people want it.
And have so many people want it. No, he does put an amazing work in. Like, the detail on every Beast trophy is always phenomenal. We're only half joking when we say it's ugly. All right, we are underway. The 2013 Beast of the East final looks like Mel Ioana is going to take our first lead jammer for the home team, La Racaille.
Yeah, she just sparked her way out of there. She's got about a half-track lead on Soul Rucker, but she's going to do a lot to make up that distance, and Soul Rucker can really go from 0-60 in no time.
Mel Ioana, though, approaching she passes Screaming Meanie Massacre to pick up at least 1 point, runs into Annihilator, who's doing a great job and forced to call it off, and she's going to pick up, I believe, 3 points.
No, she just grabs two on that one.
Just 2 on that one for Mel Ioana, but first blood going to La Racaille here in the first half of this final.
Looks like, is that...
And DDT out there.
Yep, DDT. I'm not sure if she's...
Falcon Punch potentially out there for, yes.
Yeah, Falcon Punch and Leg Cité. Boy, were they a lethal duo on the jammer line.
Yeah, really great tournaments for both those skaters, really emerging as stars for their teams. Sister Disaster to Big Block trying to hold back a Falcon Punch. Oh, to Big Block takes a little bit of a fall, and she's going to go to the penalty box on a low block major.
Yep.
2 straight lead jammer statuses to get this game going for La Racaille. The home team is prepared.
I don't think the Big Block realizes she's been called on that penalty. She still hasn't made her way to the penalty box, and she's being screamed at by Matisfaction. She'll pick up an extra one now.
Yeah, now the Big Block finally heading the box. So is Mel Ioana, though, number 420 in the green for La Racaille. So it'll be a 3-3 pack, but the Big Block, if she hasn't picked up an extra minute, is going to be lucky.
Yeah.
She spent a good 20, 30 seconds on the track, if not more.
First Slaughter Daughter chant coming up from the crowd.
Again, this game is 2 20-minute halves. So a lot can happen. We are 2 minutes into the opening half of this championship final. 6-0 La Racaille out to a quick start.
The officials having a quick confab, making sure that they understand whether or not the big block is going to pick up a second penalty there.
Yeah, Satisfaction calling things back.
Yep.
We will monitor the penalty box, and we will update you on whether or not she is serving 2 minutes. 3-3 in the pack. Nameless Horror.
You don't see her jam very often.
Out to jam against Amanda Pummeler. There's a massive size differential between these two jammers.
And Amanda just about does a little jick and jiving and get a little squeeze on the inside, but she gets dragged out of bounds.
Oh, Nameless Horror, beautiful little pirouette. And that might be a very smart move to jam her.
Oh, little feet collision. They're calling a low block on the Racaille skater.
That is no picks, please. Heading to the penalty box. And, very smart to put Nameless Horror out there. Of course, they've shown time and time again, the daughters have shown that they are physical blockers, and putting out someone like Nameless Horror can really absorb those blows. And look, she's already drawn a penalty against Hannah Murphy.
Yeah. Curious what the call on Hannah was. I didn't see it. It seemed like a fairly clean hit.
It was a low block call, and interestingly, they point that out because it was on her stride, and they haven't been calling that a lot.
Yes, again, we've been noticing we have some of the best officials working here in Eastern Canada, but when you have a large crew of officials that work a tournament, sometimes you won't get the same two officials in the same back-to-back game, so it's a little difficult for players to get a handle and a hold on how a certain referee will call a game. But Carnage, first one through the pack. She's your lead jammer. See if she can get on the board for the Slaughter Daughters.
Leg City about a quarter track back, and she is catching up quickly, but this is a very important lead for the Slaughter Daughters, who have started off uncharacteristically slow here. Oh, and a nice job by Sister Disaster to pull in the points, and all four are going to go to Carnage. Yep. Oh, only three, sorry.
She's got 2 ghost points sitting in the back there. I'm not sure if the referee catches that.
3-point stands. 6-3 now for Racaille. Almost 4 minutes. Tight bout to start things off here.
And a timeout being called by the Rideau Valley bench, probably wondering why there's the missing point.
Sisters Assos going out to talk to Matt S. Faction. Wow, you can hear the Slaughter Daughter chants loud here. Actually, so far the Slaughter Daughter chants are out-noising the Montreal chants early on in this one.
Yeah, Slaughter Daughters do have a lot of friends in the roller derby community from other cities, so perhaps some of the players from some of the other traveling cities want to throw their support behind the Slaughter Daughters.
That's right. There is a lot of teams from Ontario here, maybe putting their support behind their provincial partners. Once again, if you're just tuning in, the Death Track Dolls, if you're just tuning in, shame on you for missing a phenomenal weekend of roller derby, but the Death Track Dolls just picking up 3rd place. This is the championship final. Racaille and the Slaughter Daughters. Annihilator out there all alone. The big block, though, is standing, so she did not pick up an extra minute.
Nope.
For that penalty. It's loud in here.
It's
hard
very,
to hear.
very loud.
It's hard for us to hear. It must be hard to hear on the track, so...
So that's one timeout gone for the Slaughter Daughters early in the game, and I guess nothing came of the conversation with Matt Espection.
Oh, and lead jammer very quickly once again for Racaille. What a start. It's Falcon Punch yet again.
And it's Soul Wrecker out. She's just under a half lap behind Falcon Punch, but that's a lot of space if you're a skater like Falcon Punch who grims by and grabs. Looks like a full 4 points on that.
Wow, and another penalty for Annihilator. She is on deck now. Yep. And the Slaughter Daughters running into some serious penalty troubles early. They're lucky, actually, to be down only 10-3. And 5 minutes into this one, they haven't had a full contingent on the track since the opening jam.
Now, I foolishly did not check the rules before this, but in a 2-half game, is it still 4 penalties before a foul out, or is it...
Oh, 5. I've heard rumors on the track. Word on the track is that 5 is going to be a foul out for this game.
And it's DDT muscles her way through the track right off a scrum start, and she's the lead jammer. Sister Disaster on the wrong end of a hit there, a little slow to get up. She's trying to catch up to that pack.
Leg City just pounded through on the inside, knocking Sister Disaster down to the track. Sister very quickly moving her points to the front of the pack, and Hannah Murphy back on the track now, too, leading DDT in on this scoring pass. Leg City is coming quickly, though.
Wise move by DDT. I'm not sure if she managed to pick up a point on that. Just one.
Just one.
But called it off before L'Excité can do some damage.
So 10-4 now is the score. Just 5.5 minutes into the first half of this final. The 2013 Beast of the East. It's been one beast of a tournament. Meliwana out there to jam in the green for Racaille versus Amanda Pummeler in the black for the Slaughter Daughters.
And the Fee Jammer just having her way with that pack and cuts her way through, and Amanda Pummeler still struggling to make her way through on her initial pass.
Forearm major now being called on Banana Havoc, I believe. No one's leaving the track right now, though. Oh, there she is, Banana Havoc now leaving the track. Amanda Pummeler kind of slowing up at the back. She's having a hard time getting through. Meliwana finally forced to call it off. But not before she picks up a few points. Wait, Bonesy Adams going to the bench. Oh, and Meliwana being called on a cut at the end of that jam. And I guess it's possible to call it off and get a cut at the same time?
Depending on how the rulebook calls it. If you are cut while you are calling off the jam, the jam should still continue.
That's right. Between the first and the fourth whistle, I guess.
But if the officials actually blow it dead, then you will serve your penalty, I believe.
That's right, yeah. So it might have just been a fact that the rest of the officials continued to blow it dead. Meliwana, nonetheless, serving a penalty here, and it's been all Racaille early on. They've only managed a 10-4 lead despite all the penalty troubles from the Slaughter Daughters, and it seems to be tilting a little bit into Racaille's direction now. They have a full box.
Yeah. And it looks like there's Solruck are out to potentially take the start of this power jam. That's not the kind of skater you want to see and give a full minute of time to, particularly when you've got a decisive disadvantage in pack size.
Yeah, 3-2, and that's a very impressive pack out there for the Daughters. It's going to be Hannah Murphy, Margaret Choke, and Sister Disaster out against Slavic Slayer and the pivot K-Dog. Boy, K-Dog has had a great tournament, and she pretty much won that game in the semifinal for Racaille, and she forced that cut on the final jam. She was cheering, I think, for the rest of that jam. She was pretty happy. All right, we're about to get things underway here again. It's going to start a power start and a power jam for the Slaughter Daughters.
Solrucker with 0 to 60 in record time. She's your lead jammer. She's got lots of space to work out there, lots of speed.
Big opportunity here now. Daughters down 13-4. Haven't been able to mount any sort of consistent offense at all. And this is a massive opportunity as Solrucker duels with Slavic Slayer. She's through 5 points. Picked up.
And I think you'll find here that risky plays are hard to go with, so you will see probably minimal apex jumps at this point. Solrucker, that'll...
Oh! And Solrucker... Outside pack ref calling the cut. Solrucker was trying to straddle. It was one of those momentum cuts. She was trying to stay off the pack and just couldn't keep her wheels off the track. Meliwana will be back on the track.
Well, Meliwana making her initial pass right now. Wasn't a very long power jam, so it should be soon before Solrucker comes back out and joins us. Now we'll see if the strong defense of the Slaughter Daughters can potentially kill off this power jam.
Yeah, opportunity potentially wasted for Slaughter Daughters. Luckily, this is much longer than a 20-minute game, so they can recover from that mistake. But too many of those, they're going to be in trouble. Meliwana through on her first pass.
Slaughter Daughters waiting to pick the moment to start picking up the pack pace.
Nice little chess match going on at turn number 3. Meliwana sneaks through in the inside. Nice hit by Sister Disaster to force her inside and force her all the way back. Meliwana again coming into that back wall. Sister Disaster doing a good job of holding that inside line.
Solrucker back in the game. Not sure if the other team realized it, if the Racaille realizes she's back in now. She's just trying to buck through. And there she is, picking up some more points.
Yep. 5-point grand slam for Solrucker coming out of the penalty box in her second pass. And Meliwana hit hard.
That'll be a high block. It looks like was it Sister Disaster with the hit?
Looks like it's... Ooh, Meliwana slow getting off the track. Potentially just winded.
It doesn't matter who you are. If someone gets you a a shoulder in your mush, it takes you a couple seconds to shake the cobwebs out.
18-14 is the lead for La Racaille. It's tight, 10:50 remaining in this opening half.
The EMT's doing their job, coming in, having a quick conversation, making sure that she's okay, and before she returns back to gameplay.
Carnage back on the track quickly. Nameless Horror unable to stay in bounds after knocking her out. Lets her go. Falcon Punch already coming around to score.
And she's got a full half-track lap and a full inside blind to take. The big block just couldn't get back inside to take away the line fast enough.
La Racaille controlling things early here. 10 minutes remaining in the opening half. 22-14 is the score right now. Team from Montreal holding the lead here in the final.
I think this is probably, is it one of the first times that the Daughters have been behind for the tournament?
Yes, I believe so. That's a very good point. They haven't had to play from behind yet, and they've been behind this whole game so far. DDT out there jamming now for the Daughters. Leg Cité having a hard time in the back of the pack, but Screaming Ween Massacre being sent off. Oh, and a destruction of pack play being called on La Racaille, and DDT, though, held all the way back, and she's got a full track to make up as Leg Cité comes on to score. Hannah Murphy and Annihilator out there playing some defense now. Oh, and Leg Cité amazingly able to absorb blows from two of the biggest hitters in this tournament and pick up 4 points.
Yep. And also being able just to maintain her balance and stay upright, but also stay on the track on the inside corner. Now it looks like Amanda Pummeler coming out to jam for the Slaughter Daughters. She's had some success early in the game. Let's see if she can carry that over.
And she's facing off against Nameless Horror again.
There's a couple jammers on La Racaille that have a significant height difference between each other. Leg Cité and Amanda Pummeler too would be pretty crazy. And looking out, Nameless Horror on her way through as your lead jammer.
And once again, Nameless Horror. Nameless Horror having a phenomenal game. Again, the power that she brings to that jam line, unbelievable. And she is through with another pass. Going to call it off. 4 more points on the board for La Racaille. They increase their lead. Boy, La Racaille is really coming on strong here.
Yes. Probably take this quick opportunity to just say thank you to a couple people. First and foremost, Neon Skates, proud sponsor of Canuck Derby TV. You can visit them at skateneon.com or drop by their brick and mortar stores in both Montreal and Ottawa.
Also taking this official timeout to remind you that Holy Crap may be the biggest supporter of boutcasting in Canadian roller derby. It is the world's most amazing breakfast cereal, Holy Crap. If you haven't tried it, please try it. It's delicious. You feel good about yourself when you eat it. Amazing. And of course, we'd also like to thank AMJ Productions. They've really stepped up, not only in Canada, but again, as I mentioned earlier, Wild West Showdown, phenomenal boutcast from there. AMJ Productions, big supporter of boutcasting in roller derby, period.
And our good friends at Layer 9 as well.
That's right.
Another excellent example of commitment to the boutcasting community.
Wow, what an opening 10 minutes. Non-stop action. 30-14 is the lead. 8.5 minutes remaining in this opening half. Timeout being assessed to La Racaille. Both teams using one so far. Carnage at the front of the pack, working on the wall with K-Dog. K-Dog doing a good job one-on-one right now. Finally has to let her go. Carnage through. She is your lead jammer.
She's still got one person left to beat, and stays upright, bounces off the La Racaille, blocks her, and she's on her way to lapping the other jammer. Potentially going to grab.
Oh, K-Dog coming in with a big direction gameplay hit on Hannah Murphy.
Hey.
Almost. Oh, a nice little juke from Carnage.
Showing off a little bit of her nimbleness, a little bit of her figure skating background coming to the front there.
And this is the first time we've really been able to see the Slaughter Daughters do what they do best, and that is
hold that pack. Yeah.
Yes, and just holding legs in for so long. Oh, and she falls, gets back up quickly. But Carnage is already on another scoring pass.
Yeah, and that'll be 4 more points. Look for Carnage to call off the jam right now before Leg Cité can get up to the line.
30-22, 8 minutes, or 8 points is the difference, just under 8 minutes remaining in this opening half. Again, there will be 2 halves for this championship game. Don't leave after 20 minutes.
Yeah, first time in BCD's history, 2 halves for the final game. Don't shut down your laptops at the end of 20 minutes. Stick around for the second half.
Holy crap, this has been an amazing tournament, and this final is living up to it as well.
Yeah, by far, probably my favorite piece to these tournament.
Oh, Nameless Horror with a big hit on Soul Wrecker when it looked like she was going to be clear for lead jammer. Oh, Nameless Horror, who didn't skate yesterday for La Racaille, has been massive today.
Yes.
Falcon Punch, though, with a nice little jump. She also gets through, and she's about 30 feet back. Soul Wrecker pumping fast to try to get some points before she has to call us off.
Yeah, but all the points are at the back right now all the points are up front for the Slaughter Daughters. She should call that jam off.
And she does not quite in time. 2-1.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fans thought that the La Racaille Jammer managed to pick up the extra point. There was a little boo from the crowd when they saw only 1 point go up on the Jam ref's finger.
That was tight. 2-1, though, a steal of 1 point for La Racaille. They hold on to their lead, 31-24. 6 minutes remaining in this opening half. Oh, boy, Tipsy. This has been quite a tournament, quite a final. And again, both these teams historic in this tournament's history, also in Canadian roller derby history. Jammers are released.
Yep. And
Meliwana back out there, running into Hannah Murphy on the inside. DDT sees that inside lane. She's through. Lead jammer.
We got a power jam as well. I'm not sure what it was. Perhaps it was the use of the forearm hand penalty on the La Racaille Jammer. Gives DDT 60 seconds already to start picking up the points. She's just starting her scoring pass. La Racaille picking up the pace of the pack, making her really, really work.
Oh!
And she got on her horse and rode just.
What a burst of speed from DDT on that first straightaway. Yeah. Taking a couple stutter steps, picking up a lot of speed. DDT is into this one.
Definitely.
He gets knocked out by a nice hit by the La Racaille pivot. That is Slavic Slayer.
DDT was something to prove this tournament this year.
She is one of the original Rideau Valley skaters.
Yep. Also one of the original girls in our entire system. Was around for our early incarnations. Whoa, she's a bit wobbly, but she's staying on that track, staying in bounds. Excellent bridge by La Racaille.
K-Dog relentless in her hitting, but DDT staying on her feet and on the track. 5 more points picked up. Meliwana is standing up in the penalty box. For 10 seconds remaining.
Those of you following along at home, we know what to do whenever there's a lead change. Tip a glass.
K-Dog heading to the penalty box there on a direction of gameplay major. DDT fighting for that 1 point as Meliwana comes back onto the track. Power jam over. And DDT calls it off after picking up 5. Slaughter Daughters pulling into the lead for the first time in this game.
Mm-hmm. Took them a little while, but they're now in a position where they feel a little more comfortable playing with that lead. It was the first time this tournament they were actually ever behind.
And that's right, and they've fought their way back to the fight. This lead change brought to you by Holy Crap Cereal, the world's most amazing breakfast cereal.
Holy crap, we had a lead change.
Meliwana right back out there to jam for La Racaille, but on the outside, Amanda Pummeler.
Look at that girl move.
Very shaky start for the Slaughter Daughters. They have recovered well and are pulling it on here late in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a derby game.
Meliwana is through, but Amanda Pummeler already in the pack and scoring. Nameless Horror to beat. Sister Disaster was a nice little offensive block. I believe Pummeler has picked up all the points. I don't know if she knows that yet. And there it is, 4 points for Amanda Pummeler.
Probably like earlier in the day, my Facebook feed was kind of exploding. We got a lot of friends that are watching this thing as far away as Eastern Europe. So just going to give ourselves a quick shout out to one Tiny Murders, who's out there.
Oh, Tiny Murders.
Tiny Murders. She's out there on a trip around Eastern Europe, hanging out with her mom. She says hello earlier, especially to you, Derby Nerd.
Yeah, well, fans of Canuck Derby TV are probably very familiar with her on the text cast.
Exactly.
She spent a lot of time typing on those Canuck Derby TV text casts.
She owned the keyboard.
Oh, and Leg Cité breaking through. Much needed lead jammer status for La Racaille. Trying to get some momentum back after the Slaughter Daughters pulled it.
Carnage in tight up against that pack. Still trying to make her way through on her initial pass. Does not want to give up the Grand Slam.
And Annihilator with some nice hitting again. Oh, what a performance from Annihilator. And once again, forcing Leg Today to call it off. She'll pick up a couple points here. And we're waiting for the refs to see how many points being called. Bonesy Adams conferring with his outside ref before he puts up those points.
As well, talked to some of the officials earlier today. Ann Persand, we've all been thinking about you. She was supposed to come make the trip this weekend to Beast of the East, but she had some kitty problems. Kitty made her way into the emergency room, so we're thinking of you and pulling for your cat.
Yes. All right, back underway here now. Soul Wrecker back out on the track in the black for the Slaughter Daughters. And she looks like she's sneaking through. One to beat. Nameless Horror with a massive hit. And that's going to allow Falcon Punch an opportunity to get to the front. And Annihilator can't stop her lead jam for Racaille.
Sister Disaster on her way to the penalty box. She does not look happy making the trip down. I think she's got a little shot in the noggin and doesn't seem to think like she's the one that should have been called on the penalty.
Oh, Soul Wrecker having a hard time at the front of the pack right now. Nameless Horror pounding away at her. Number 777, also Irish Sprint having a great jam, but Soul Wrecker finally through.
Yeah, that was very, very smart strategic move by the Racaille bench to put in Nameless Horror. Try to answer some size with size.
And Nameless Horror, what a weapon the Racaille has been keeping on the end of the bench, sitting her on the opening day. A rare move, and then bringing her out, and she has been key in all three of Racaille's games today. 43-39, under a minute to go in this opening half. The Slaughter Daughters nursing a tiny lead.
This half is almost over already?
Yes, it's blown by. Starting to hear some Racaille chants now. The Montreal fans finally getting into it. Meliwana fighting her way on the outside. DDT is fighting her way on the inside. It looks like Meliwana is going to take the lane. She is your lead jammer.
There was a big pile up at the stop of corner number 1. That opened up a lot of space, and Meliwana made her way around on that one.
DDT is through, but she's a half track back, and Meliwana is very quickly approaching the pass on her pack on her scoring pass. Hannah Murphy with a last-minute hit to drag her back, and Meliwana falling to her knees calls it off. 2 points, though, picked up by Meliwana in that pass. 43-41.
If she had managed to complete that pass clearly, we would have had a tie game at the end of the first 20 minutes.
Wow. First half coming to a close. Everything you expected, and maybe even a little more.
Bit more, yeah.
Holy crap, that was a half. 43-41 is the score. The Slaughter Daughters up by 2. Wow. Now, we will take a very quick break.
Looks to be about 5 minutes, it would appear.
And we will be back for the second half. Oh my, Tipsy.
That was something else.
Something else. This has been a historic Beast of the East. Thank you again, fans, for tuning in to the 2013 Beast of the East here live on Canuck Derby TV.
And if you are enjoying yourselves as much as we're enjoying ourselves up in the booth, find a way to donate to Canuck Derby TV. Keep free Derby boutcasts on the air in Canada.
That's right. Take a moment, minimize your screen. Up in the right-hand corner, you'll see a little red button that says Donate. You, too, can be a sponsor and supporter of free Canadian roller derby boutcasts. All right, Tipsy, we'll be back in 4 minutes with the second half of this Beast of the East final.